Yes, Asari Dokubo has given a very strong message to Tinubu. You need to watch this video. Honestly, he has torn him apart. Just take a look at this.
So, what I'm trying to say, and it's very clear, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu becoming president, I should be able to tell him the truth. And what is happening in Rivers State, where President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is supporting Nyesom Wike to destabilize Rivers State, to disturb the peace of Rivers State. And as a stakeholder in Rivers State, I feel disappointed, totally disappointed, for the president to allow his minister serving under him to run amok, procure judgments, and all sorts, threatening the people of Rivers State, because what they are trying to do is, we are going to remove FOBRA and nothing will happen. And I'm saying that if you remove FOBRA, something will happen. If you try to remove FOBRA, something will happen. And that is it. That is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking of any personal benefit. I cannot be appointed minister. I cannot be appointed into any board. I did not lobby for any board. I did not lobby for anything. So, it's not personal, like I said. Yes, I emptied my bank account. I spent over $2 million US. I cannot even count in Naira what I spent. And I did not take a dime from him or anybody except 10 Jackeries who gave me 300 million Naira.
All right. Okay. Well. All right. We have to go now, unfortunately. But, I mean, it would have been great to interrogate your statement around working with the North for 2027 and you coming out to say that from now on you're not working with the president anymore. So I just want to assume that the relationship with you and the president in the past, you're not taking it forward from today. So from now on, are you stating that you are now moving to the other side because you're no longer in support of just one statement? Just one statement, that you are no longer in support of President Bola.
I think you are misquoting me.
Okay.
I think you are misquoting me.
Okay, please then.
What I said was very clear, that our fathers worked with the North, and I was in the forefront fighting against our fathers, Melford Okilo, Harold Dababria, and so on. And from what Obasanjo had done, and Ahmed Bola Tinubu has done, we, the younger generation, we go back and align with the North, because that is where Bayelsa was created by Abacha, Tafawa Balewa put in place Niger Delta Development Authority, and so on and so forth. And for us,
okay, I
think our relationship with the North is far better than our relationship with any other people.
All right. So guys, Mr. Asari Dokubo was on Arise Television where he granted interview as regards to the scrapping of the Ministry of Niger Delta. We know that ministry has been removed and the current administration has meshed all other ministries that has to do with regional places in Nigeria together, and Asari Dokubo is saying that is not going to work in Nigeria. The Niger Delta people have been very, very angry with this recent development and he is taking the lead in that anger. So he came here actually to react to that, but he went ahead to also talk about how Tinubu is using Wike to destabilize the state, the River States, and all that. So guys, I want you to watch this video further so that you get all the message that he passed on to the public as regards to, you know, how his relationship with Tinubu has even gotten more sour. Take a look.
You with President Tinubu, now that you say President Tinubu has disappointed you. You worked for him, you supported him. He has disappointed you with the ministry. He has disappointed you also with some other things. If you could also take that along as we try to manage time.
I want to say that the opposition to decision to scrap the Niger Delta ministry have nothing to do with my personal relationship with President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. I am just an individual. My personal relationship with Dr. Alhaji Ahmed Bola Tinubu is personal. I I am a representative of my people. I was chosen and elected by my people to lead them based on a broad-based grassroots movement, the Joy Youth Council. Having said that, like I said before, we were in the trenches with Ahmed Bola Tinubu, and he's the least person we expect to have taken this decision. This ministry came into being on the blood and sweat of the people of the Ijaw nation. I was incarcerated in 2005, and the struggle started, the agitation started soon after the former governor of Bayelsa State, Alamesia, was also incarcerated. Oil production came down to 700,000 barrels. And in order to assuage, in order to placate the Ijaw people, Yar'Adua started with a 7-point agenda. And one of these 7-point agenda was the issue of the Niger Delta. And the Niger Delta Ministry was created by President Yar'Adua. Now, like I was saying, I don't know whether you got me, the people of Ogoni and Ijaw said if for us to be part of an independent Nigeria, the issue of underdevelopment of these two nationalities must be addressed. And at that time, oil was discovered mostly in the territories of these two nationalities. And the government, the British colonial government, set up the Wilkin Commission, which recommended a special area. And they set up the Niger Delta Development Authority. 5% from the federal government to contribute, Eastern region 5% and the Western region 5%. And the government of Tafawa Balewa adhered to its contribution of 5%, the Eastern region and the Western region, like what is happening today, refused to contribute. Now, after the brouhaha of the civil war that took place, they proceeded to create what they call river basin for every gutter, every drainage found in other part of the country, and they gave them all fanciful names. They converted this special area, which was in the constitution of constitutional dimension, an authority that was embedded in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They now changed it and equated it with this so-called river basin they have created. Now, they totally destroy the character and nature of the Niger Delta Development Authority.
All right. All right.
Yar'Adua came into power and decided Niger Delta Ministry. When General Olusegun Obasanjo was in power, he promulgated, through military fiat, the Land Use Act, and confiscated the land of our people and our resources. After doing that, on his second coming, he came.
All right.
And then created a Niger Delta in his head that does not exist, that is not in tandem with reality. Niger Delta is supposed to be the tributaries that empties into the wetland created by the tributaries that emptied into the Atlantic Ocean.
All right. Okay.
He created a Niger Delta where he brought Imo, he brought Abia, he brought Ondo, he brought Edo, he brought Akwa Ibom, he brought Cross River.
All right, Mr. Dokubo, let me come in here, please. Delta. All right, Mr. Dokubo, let me come in here. I'm so sorry because I know you have a lot to get off your chest, but unfortunately our time is limited. Some of the issues you've cited are some of perhaps the conversation around the effectiveness or a reorganization required for the NDDC. The makeup of the NDDC, like you said, there are some states in there that would also fall under the Southeast Development Commission, which is under review. We also look at perhaps the reason why this regional Ministry for Regional Development is created in such a way as to ensure that we don't duplicate efforts. You know, we're going to have the Northeast Development Commission and the likes. What do you have to say about that? I say this because perhaps this is a move to make it more efficient and move away from what we currently have. Don't forget, the NDDC, the Niger Delta Development Commission, will still come under the Ministry for Regional Development.
We are talking of law. We are not talking of effectiveness. The wishes and caprices of a leader does not amount to the law of the country. NDDC was created by law. It was not created by wishes and caprices of a leader that when I decide a thing, it becomes law.
But laws can be amended.
Who decide what is effective?
Mr. Asari Dokubo, laws can be amended.
Effectiveness is because the law had not been amended.
They can be.
As we speak, the law had not been amended. So what we are talking about, who decide what is effective? Everything about Nigeria is inefficient because of corruption, because of wanton corruption. There is corruption everywhere. So that is corruption. All institutions are affected by constitution, are affected by corruption. So nobody would say that it is always the Niger Delta that is not efficient. What we are saying, you yourself had said, I called for the scrapping of NDDC last year when I said they should scrap NDDC and return UMPADEC, which was the right nomenclature for that body called NDDC. And then create a special authority as it was before for the Niger Delta. Having said that, they have created Southeast Development Commission, Northeast Development Commission, whatever development commission. Where is the money going to come from? The money of the Icho, Okoni, Ishekri, Orobo people, and Igbo people. They tell us that oil is no longer important in the world, but it is our oil money they are using. You know, they want to make you look, feel inferior, look little. But each time they try this, they expose themselves. What we are saying, who decide what is efficient? What is efficient in Nigeria?
Mr. Dokubo,
is our railway efficient?
Very quickly, sir, Bimba will ask the next question. You enjoyed, at least prior, and you admitted it yourself, that working for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to get him into office, you enjoyed quite a cordial relationship with him. In fact, you composed a number of songs in solidarity with him. Were you consulted? Have you had the opportunity
to hold on?
Yes. Yes, so you were singing in support of him. Were you consulted? Have you had the opportunity to speak to him, or has the line of communication totally broken down between you and the president?
I supported Mr. President because I knew him before he became senator. I knew him before he became governor. I knew him before he became president. And God willing, if we're alive, I will also know him when he ceases to be president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But what I'm trying to say, this is not about me. This is not about an individual called Alhaji Mujahid Dokbo and Ahmed Bola Tinubu. It is about my people. And when I'm speaking about my people, take me out of the way. I'm an individual. My relationship with President Ahmed Bola Tinubu was very robust. And at all times, the benefit I derived from that relationship was one-way traffic, was from Ahmed Bola Tinubu alone. His coming out for presidency was the only time I was able to pay him back. And I did. And even if he comes out tomorrow, I will still do it. Because at the time, General Olusegun Obasanjo buried me alive. He stood by me. And I'm not going to be in a hurry to forget that. But that personal between both of us. You talk about the line of communication. See, there's an Islamic preacher, Sheikh Kishke. He said, when somebody becomes an emperor, an emir, a sultan, Satan becomes his best friend and advisor. Because Satan will always be there whispering to his ears. Was Jesus not carried to the pinnacle by Satan?
Okay,
and offered the whole world that jumped down. I will give you everything.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Now, we've understood you. We understand you're also saying that this conversation is not personal. But a lot of people would disagree because you've made statements such as that if President Bola Tinubu fails, we should hold you responsible. So my question is, should your people...
I stand by that statement.
So should the Ijaw people, the Ogoni people, the people of Niger Delta, should they hold you responsible for the fact that their ministry has now been scrapped?
I stand by that statement.
Yes. So should the Niger Delta people hold you responsible? Are you taking responsibility for the Niger Delta ministry being scrapped? Since you said you would be taking responsibility.
That is why I am crying out. That is why I am crying out. Because I am vigorously liable to any infraction of the exploitation of the Nigerian people, not just Niger Delta people. Because I stood in front of everybody. And I'm not going to deny what I said. Even if it is tomorrow, Ahmed Bola Tinubu encounters any problem, difficulty, I will still stick out my neck and stand. Because at the time he stood for me, I would have been dead. I would not have been in this program talking to you. Obasanjo would have killed me. If not for people like Ahmed Bola Tinubu who stood by me and did everything for me.
Well, Alhaji Dokubo.
So I am not going to be in a hurry.
Alhaji.
I am not going to be in a hurry to forget that.
Alhaji Dokubo, will you say that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu...
I'm with you.
Will you say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is succeeding or failing as president, given the reality in the country today? And to still go back to your matter with him, you said you emptied your bank account, you spent a lot of money, and Tinubu is there in Abuja. You are not benefiting anything. So what would you like to benefit from him? Now that you helped him, you supported him, and he's there. He has forgotten people who supported him.
To my broadcast, if you had listened to my broadcast in full, I met President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. I met him, both in camera and behind camera, and he asked me, are you interested in pipeline? He will be listening now. And I told him, I'm not interested in pipeline. He's alive. I told him, I am not interested, but I can assist those who are doing the pipeline contract in any way I can for your government to succeed. But I'm not interested. So I never said that it was personal gain I was looking for. I clearly said in all my broadcasts that my needs are very small. My needs are very small.
So guys, do you think what Asari Dokubo is saying makes sense? Actually, we all know that the Niger Delta was very, very, how do I even describe it? The way these militants were ready to destabilize that state. And during the time of Yaradua, they ended up coming up with this amnesty program that led to the development of this Nddc, that will help to caution the adverse effect of, this drilling, because taking this oil from these people's land, actually, it leaves some environmental and health-related disasters in that area. So this Nddc was actually created to attend to the needs of the people there. And you can imagine this government has just come up to say no more. And now they've ended up merging, all such ministries together under a particular ministry. And Asari Dokubo is saying, no. For me, honestly, for this one, I support Asari Dokubo, because you get to see what the people in the Niger Delta are going through. The only question we should be asking is if the money that has been given to the Nddc are being given to the people there. Because sometimes the federal government allocates this money through this ministry, but it ends up not getting to the people. I mean, the people at the grassroots level. So that should actually be the question. If the people are not benefiting, how do we make it so that the people will start benefiting, instead of you to just come and scrape it out? And now you are merging all other ministries, including like the Northeast Development program, or whatever they call it. You know, you merge all of them together. That is what Asari Dokubo is frowning at, because the Niger Delta people feel their waters are being spoiled, their lands are being spoiled, they are being exposed to health related hazards and all kinds of things when it comes to, you know, drilling this oil from their environment. And so they deserve some special treatment, as in to compensate for all those losses that they are going to incur as a result of this drilling happening in their area. So, but for this government to just come and scrape everything off, even without any proper consultation, that alone is enough to, you know, bring about more agitations again, especially in the South. So I think this government should be wise in taking decisions like this, because guess what? You cannot fault the Niger Deltans when they start to protest, because their land, their water, their sources of livelihood are being tampered with as a result of all this mining and, you know, drilling of oil and all that. So guys, I don't know what you make of Asari Dokubo's argument that, you know, this ministry shouldn't have been tampered with, and he's so disappointed in Tinubu, and today you can see that their relationship is even getting more soured. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Thank you.